And welcome to Hannity and Colmes. We get right to our top story tonight. We are less than 48 hours out of the Iowa caucus, and all eyes are on the candidates, and every move is being scrutinized. Mike Huckabee, well, he's had much of the attention focused his way, from his war of words with Mitt Romney to yesterday's cancellation of an attack ad. And presidential candidate Mike Huckabee joins us from Iowa tonight. Well, there is some good news, Governor, and that is that you're up by 6 points, according to the Register.
There's a great headline to wake up to this morning, a 6-point lead in the Des Moines Register poll, maybe the last big poll to come out before the caucus, and we were very encouraged by it. I think it's proving that staying positive is the right thing, and most of all, our message is getting out there to Iowa caucus voters. A lot of the people I saw today, Sean, said they're first-time caucus goers. This is their first time, some of them in their 50s and 60s, but they're going out to caucus for me. That's exactly what we want to hear as we enter these last hours.
All right, Governor, let's go to the controversy of the hour, which is this ad, this news conference that you had, where you ran this ad, and then you said, but I'm not going to run the ad. And there were even snickers among the press here. Let's roll the ad to remind our audience.
Romney's record? Over $700 million in new taxes. Left office with a deficit. No executions. Supported gun control. And Romney's government-mandated health plan provided a $50 copay for abortion.
If a man's dishonest to obtain a job, he'll be dishonest on the job. Iowans deserve better.
Governor, it seems like you know what they're saying, that you have the benefit of running an attack ad, but seemingly seeing like you're taking the high road on it by saying, well, I'm not going to run the ad, and then you ran it.
Well, we didn't run the ad, Sean. What we did, we pulled it. I knew that if we said we had made one and didn't reveal that it existed, there would have been the cynicism of the reporters that had said, oh, you really didn't have one. But we did. And I don't know how you obtained that copy, because we didn't give it to anybody. We had a box of CDs of them. We gave them to no one. We showed it in that room for those reporters, and the only way they could have gotten it would be to tape it, I guess, off a camera from the screen. But the fact is, we pulled it. It was my decision. It was the right decision. I understand people are going to be cynical, but you know what? At the end of the day, what matters is the decision that we made to stay positive and not to go nuclear, not to engage in the same level of politics that has been relentlessly used against us and used against John McCain in New Hampshire.
Let me ask you, but then, Governor,
we just need to change the course of the discussion.
But it's a fair question, and if you really felt that way about it, why would you run the ad while you're saying you're pulling the ad?
Well, for the reason that I said just a moment ago, because if we didn't show the ad to the reporters, I think we thought, well, they would have said we didn't have one. So we didn't give them the copy of a big, thick folder of material that we had.
But you played it.
We destroyed that. We played it only for the room of those people. We did not give them the copies that we had. But, Sean, more importantly is the fact that I think people have given me the position that I'm in Iowa because it has been a positive campaign. No doubt that a lot of the negative attacks, mailboxes have been full, phone calls every night, people have been inundated with television commercials. It's been very nasty, very negative, not just with me. John McCain in New Hampshire is getting the same thing. And we decided that, you know, if we talk about Ronald Reagan's legacy and his whole understanding of the leadership of the Republican Party, you can't be Reagan-esque if you violate the 11th commandment of Ronald Reagan.
But you say about Governor Romney in this ad, these are very hard words, Governor, and you said about him, if a man's this dishonest to obtain the job, he'll be dishonest on the job. Governor Romney responded. Let's roll that tape and get your reaction, sir.
I don't think Governor Huckabee was able to fool the media with his press conference. I don't think he'll fool the people of Iowa. It's a little like going up and saying, I'm not going to call my opponent any names. But if I were going to call him some names, here are the names I'd call him.
Do you really believe he's dishonest?
If you tell things about somebody that aren't true, if you tell people that I cut meth sentences when I didn't, if you tell them that I spent money and created this huge budget, which I did not, and the New York Times verified that those figures were wrong. If you tell people things that even may have a sense of half-truth but aren't the whole truth, they become the untruth. The question that I had was, do I counterattack? And I finally decided I can't fix in 30 seconds the damage that was done to a 10-and-a-half-year record I had as the longest consistent executive running a government in this presidential race. But here's what I think people are looking for. They're looking for somebody who has consistency. And I had to ask this question. Do I want someone to elect me because I've done a better job of disabling my opponent than he has done of disabling me? And I finally decided that's not what people are looking for
Hey,
in the
Governor,
next president.
it's Alan Colmes. Welcome back to our show.
Thank you, Alan.
Is Mitt Romney too dishonest to be President of the United States?
You know, I think that Mitt Romney has every reason to run for president. The voters are going to decide in Iowa and the rest of America who's consistent on issues like abortion and gun control, which one of us really comes forward
I want to know if you stand by the words in
of
that
our
ad.
views. And
Do you stand by the words in that ad?
I've never retracted the words, but I pulled the ad because I felt like that it is the tone and the spirit of the ad that's not what we need. And I just want to believe that Americans really are looking for a different kind of approach to
the point is, Governor, you do stand by what that ad says. You're not disavowing
what I said was,
statement of that
Alan, I made it very clear that when you say things about an opponent's record that aren't true, or say things about your own record which aren't true, I don't know how else you call that, but dishonest. And if I make up things about my own resume, if I say I have endorsements that I don't have, the question is, do people want a president who has not been completely straightforward about endorsements, about positions, about events that have happened in his or her life? Those are serious questions that voters have to ask.
Are you going negative now by saying the very things you're saying now about Romney? Are you doing the very thing you say you don't want to do?
No, I'm not going out there specific. You asked me a question, I'm trying to answer it, and I don't know how to answer it without being specific. So I'm trying to do that, but within the context of not, you know, just simply going out there and making a bunch of statements that I think would be unnecessary and perhaps harsh. Let me get this earpiece working again.
There you go. You can hear me okay?
There we go.
All right. So
I hear you fine.
Are you saying if you get
maybe I should pull it out?
If you get the nomination, Mitt Romney would not be your running mate?
I'm going to support the nominee of our party. I certainly am not at a point where I get to pick the running mate yet. But you know what I do think? I think I'm going to be in the position to pick a running mate. I think the people of Iowa are responding to not just this one decision. I think they're responding to all the decisions that I've made in my life and career of having consistency when it comes to being pro-life, being a person who has cut taxes, a person who has run a government, fixed roads, improved education, things that matter to people sitting around their dinner table talking and trying to figure out how they're going to get through next week and build small businesses in the middle class.
Governor, are you making a mistake?
We've got a lot of people in this country, let me just mention this, we've got a lot of people in this country who feel like the Republican Party has forgotten them. People who are in the middle class, small business owners from which 80% of our jobs come. My strength in this campaign is not just coming from evangelicals, though certainly they're with me. I think it's coming from a lot of small business owners. It's coming from middle class people and working class people who want the Republican Party to reach out to them.
All right, we're going to pick it up right there in just a moment with Mike Huckabee on the other side.